chest with gear nearby.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Amaso T, man. And listen, I have been scouring the interwebs looking for amazing, incredible Hulk builds for this game, and just kind of seeing what people have been doing. And I think I got an amazing build, so I'm going to present to you guys my Heart of the Monster Hulk build, man. So we're going to go ahead and check out I'm going to go ahead and just major artifacts. So we had to start with the ring because it really helps when you're trying to get your specials off, your abilities going. Whereas originally it might take like 7 or 8 of your gold orbs to get these full. With this, it may take like 4 or 5. So it really helps. But for our main damage melee, we went with the lightweight pulse nanites, which is a 41% chance light combo finishers, trigger stun damage, explosion. It drops lots of gamma damage, which you could do battery effects and you'll probably pull out more damage like that. But I'm an old school Hulk fan. I just wanted to do nothing but gamma damage. So that's why I have it built like this and not as a battery. And my main thing about this is that it does 21.3% increased damage from rage attacks. That is a big deal. And you'll find out why later. But going down to our range gear, we have the target explosion enhancer, which is a 31% chance that hitting an enemy with a range critical attack will trigger a damage explosion. It also comes with dealing cosmic damage from large debris trunks, and a 50% chance that defeating an enemy with a ranged crit attack will grant you a damage buff. So then we go down to our defensive gear, and we have the nimble buff component, which is a 24% chance that perfect dodge grants a short damage buff, with a 22.5% chance reviving a teammate grants a willpower burst, and a negative 11.9 damage reduction while aiming, because again, trying to get all these buffs with this range gear, we don't really want to be trying to take a lot of damage while we're aiming wherever we're going to throw these big ass rocks. And then so we're going to go down to our heroic gear, which is Bone Shaker Blitz Stimulator. Now this gives me a 20% increased damage while Bone Shaker is active, 40% chance takedowns grant a defense buff, and then on top of that defense buff, we have that if you defeat 3 enemies in rapid succession, you will get another defense buff as well. Our minor artifacts, we have the orange ISO 8. We have the red ISO 8, which is a 17.3 increase in charge rate for your heroic assault ability, and a 50% increased stun damage from light combo finishers. Up here we have something pretty much exactly the same, which is an 8.5 increased charge rate of ultimate heroic ability, and a 50% increased stun damage for heavy combo finishers. And as far as my stats are looking, my might is at 306, the precision is at 42, proficiency is at 54, valor is at 185, resolve is at 74. My resilience is terrible, but it's at 0. I have a 33 intensity. My melee damage is at 2014. My range damage is at 850. The crit chance is at 16.2. Perk chance is at 15.3. Heroic effectiveness is at 1,662 with a 20. I'm not sure if that's 244% crit damage or 24.4, but I'm gonna hope that it says 244% crit damage. With a max willpower of 13,000, with willpower effectiveness at recovering willpower at 85%. I've got 13% armor, and my stun damage meter 37.9 with a status resistance to 20.2. My ultimate heroic charge rate is 14.5. Assault charge is at 21.0, and super heroic charge rate is at 6. Now again, those bottom numbers for the charge rates, not great. They're actually terrible, but again, it's not a huge deal because of this. This is going to supersede all that crap. So then when we go over here to our skills, and this is where we get to why I built this the way that I built this. So we're going to go here to our support heroic, where a lot of people like to keep this buff on, which will extend your duration for Bone Shaker for 5 seconds. When they have on this, increased damage, it basically makes it so that you can keep that Bone Shaker up, meaning you can keep that damage buff going for that much longer. But I just decided that, for me, again, huge Hulk fan, his healing factor was always one of those things for me that I thought was amazing. So I just wanted to make sure he could heal as much as possible. So I have it so that I defeat 5 enemies while Bone Shaker is active in order to restore all my willpower, as well as defeating enemies who are taunted by Bone Shaker causes them to drop heroic orbs. Now, this taunting and heroic orbs are gonna go again right back into why this is the truth, but we'll get there in a moment. So as far as the assault heroic, I have 200% more stun damage at the end of Stranglehold, as well as an additional Stranglehold ability. Also, as far as the ultimate heroic ability goes, we have Focused Thunderclap, which increases your stun damage by 25%, and it narrows the effect. And it also increases your actual damage by 25%, as well as your stun damage. And then we have the Thunderclap Heroic Recovery, which is a 50% chance that defeating enemies with Thunderclap will cause them to drop heroic orbs. Now, heroic orbs. These heroic orbs, man. Okay. So, just keep them in mind. Now let's run over here to our mastery. We just, this is basically saying that once I grab somebody, people hitting me are not really going to make me drop them. This increases the damage and impact that I do to people by 20% when I'm using somebody that's being held. And this is what the stun damage, all the stun damage stuff was for. Recovers 35 points of willpower after performing a takedown. So you have your stun damage meters very high. That way you build up that stun damage. As soon as you do your takedown, you get back 35 points of your health. So high stun damage, high chance for takedowns. High chance for takedowns means you got a high chance of keeping your health up. So now onto the ranged attack. I have the Wrecking Ball, which basically makes it so my rock doesn't explode when I throw it. I personally like this because especially in things like the hives, when you got a whole bunch of enemies in like hallways, this will sweep a hallway, hit 5 or 6 enemies. That's 5 to 6 chances that you are going to, I'm sorry about that, that's 5 or 6 chances that you have to activate either a damage explosion or that other damage buff from your ranged attacks. So as far as that goes, that's why I just kind of have the Wrecking Ball thing going, as well as increasing your damage by 15% when using large debris. Because, you get hit with a giant rock, it's really supposed to hurt, especially if it's thrown by the Hulk. So, and then for this, I just have excavator just so I can get the rocks moving as fast as possible. That's more chance to get my buffs rolling. As far as my intrinsic ability, I have recovers willpower by 10% while rage is active and while dealing damage. It's just going to, again, like I said, help me to stay at max health, or just keep my health up. This, I have increased all damage by 15% while rage is active. Now I take this and again go back over here and couple it with my melee, my 21.3% increased damage. We rocking damage out here, y'all. Oh man, I didn't even mean to do that. I'm sorry about that. But you couple those two together, now we rocking massive amounts of damage. So, and then I just moved over here and reduced the initial cost of triggering rage by 15%. Cause you want to make sure that you're not, every time you trigger rage, it's not taking like a quarter of your bar. So the less it costs to trigger your rage, the more you can get not only this buff, but the other additional buff that goes on to, having that gear. Intrinsic overcharge increases impact while overcharged by 25% and decreasing the chances enemies will be able to interrupt your attacks. And then increases all damage by 20% while overcharged, and reduces the rate at which overcharged enemy drains, allowing you to stay overcharged longer. Now, some of you guys may wonder why I have this huge, rage buff as well as having my overcharge buff. And to be frank, it's just because my play style, I rarely stay overcharged. So I wanted to make sure that regardless of what's going on, as long as I have some rage, I can have a damage buff. Again, this Hulk build isn't the most like DPS. It's not, meant to be a tank build or anything of that nature. It was really just meant to be like a in-between, in the middle, like good on all fronts kind of thing. Like I've seen builds where people have either super high, melee and no defense, heroic or ranged, or like super high, defense and barely any attack, or, ranged, or, stuff like that. And so I really wanted to make a Hulk that on base stats alone was very, very formidable. But then when you add in, the fact that you have all these damage explosion buffs and, damage buffs, more damage explosion buffs and damage buffs, with more damage buffs, increase in willpower, damage reduction, and then I know his defense isn't too high, so I wanted to make sure he wasn't too squishy. So I wanted to make sure I could keep that also with getting my health back with the takedown. There's also a 40% chance that I will get a defense buff. And then if I'm doing something like hitting a thunderclap, that's more than likely going to kill 3 people, so I'll get another defense buff. Or something like stranglehold will probably give me a defense buff, or a heavy grounded pound will probably give you that defense buff. So I just wanted to make sure that, with having my defense less than, 11 or 12 or something like that, that I could keep my defense up while as well keeping my health up, which is why, again, I put so much stun damage so I can get those takedowns, so I could do that. So this is my Heart of the Monster Hulk build, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, man, I'm the Mighty of SOT, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
To send forces to stop you. Thank you. I'm here till Thursday. Try the field. Well done.
the turbine.